What's up, everybody? It's D's World. I got a reaction, alright? I'm about to react Joe Rogan and Jim Lambier. I'm sorry if I'm saying it right. It's been a while seeing him. He used to be right there on HBO Boxing. And man, I do miss HBO Boxing. And you know, that's crazy. Like him and the other guys they had right there, the crew. They're there for a long time, have a great career. But they're going to be talking about right here from Crawford against Canelo. And to me, I would say, like, okay, I'm born in America, right there, my family and everything, but I'm half Mexican, a quarter Filipino, a quarter white. And, you know, I would usually go with the American, of course, most of the time. But if you're nice, man, I'd be like, dude, I like this fighter. And Canelo, I'm like 50-50 half the time. But he fights basically everybody, though. Everybody. And you could say he lost here and there, a couple fights, but he fights though. So you can't hate that right here. And one thing from Crawford, he's been fighting too for a while. You know, he's been a champion a long time. And he's coming up to 2 more weight class. And the only thing that I don't really like Canelo, I don't like Crawford right here, because he just talk hella stuff not that far from Manny Pacquiao. And I understand you have the right to say what you want, your opinion to say this, but he just talking about the steroids. He did this. It's like, dude.
I don't got Manny Pacquiao top 5.
You
reason
don't?
Why he's not up there.
But
you
why?
should know that reason.
It's your interview. Nah.
Man, Manny's a generational talented fighter. Like, he's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Again, you know, but I don't feel like, you know, he did it on his own. That's me personally, because for the simple fact, when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since.
You better come up 2 weight class. So basically, if you didn't do it, you're going up to your 6th weight class. And let's say if you win, what we're going to say, like, you're on, what if you win by knockout or something? Can we just say the same thing, like you did steroids too, or this and this? Then at the same time, you talk about Mayweather. He's the one that he did a legal IV for the Pacquiao fight. And it should be like a no contest, because you can't do extra things like that. And if you've seen, like, Pacquiao, when he came up, when they started doing the drug test for, like, the blood drug test, first time he did it with Mosley, and he did it after. Basically all of them. And he was the most blood drug test athlete at that time. And I don't know why people want to always diss about Pacquiao from this, like Crawford does. And it's just ridiculous, man. It's like, dude, what about you? If you come up at, well, I know he's like 4 different weight classes. He's going to skip 5 and go to this another one. But at the same time, it's going up to you too. And you're saying, oh, I can knock him out. Oh, so you're on steroids too? Like, basically what you're saying. So anyways, let's go.
Earlier we talked about Canelo versus Crawford.
Yes.
Do you think Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but he's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Okay, what kind of a fight? I'm going to get to that. I asked the great Larry Merchant, 94 years old, living on Ocean Boulevard in Santa Monica, looking out at the ocean, reflecting on all the amazing things he did. And I asked Larry, I said, do you think Terrence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Yeah. Over and over and over. He
has a point in that, too, about Canelo. Because Canelo, he tries to slips, and sometimes he doesn't throw too many punches in a round, couple rounds. And that's one thing I'm trying to say. Like, as long as Canelo puts that pressure and throws in the first couple rounds and make him back up the whole time, you're going to win round by round by round. And if you do that, let's say you're winning by 3 rounds, that means Crawford going to have to throw punches then, because he's don't want to just do a chess match after that. It's all bad. He's probably going to lose for that. So you got to just put that pressure and throw punches, Canelo. Throw punches. Because we know Crawford gets clipped sometimes. He gets hurt the first couple rounds all the time. The beginning of the fights. All his fights, actually. A lot of them. So that's what he has to do. Put that pressure.
To figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out.
Yeah.
Before he's facing any damage.
Right.
That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler. And it frustrated Hagler. And the more you frustrate the opponent,
Hagler was
the better off
like,
you are.
Yeah.
Going
Canelo has
downhill a little
such
bit, though,
unique
at that
skills.
time.
And one of the weird things that he does that very few people, since Rocky Marciano does, is he punches your arms.
Yes.
Yeah,
He brutalizes your arms.
He's another brilliant guy. He has the greatest punch resistance in the sport. You know, we talked about it earlier. 1 knockout in the whole career.
Knockdown,
And
yeah.
it wasn't a knockdown. And it wasn't really a knockdown in my personal view. So, because he didn't touch the canvas. He's never been on the canvas. And we call it chin. And I think that we kind of missed the point by calling it chin. Because I used to be Canelo's neighbor in Del Mar, California. Used to run into Chepo, his senior trainer at the
Dan, that was your neighbor? That's what's up. Okay.
grocery store. I'd look into the cart and say, "Oh, he's eating tuna." And he said, "Yes," and he's eating chicken.
And some tacos from Mexico.
And so I also used to go down the hill from my house off of Via della Valle in Del Mar and watch him train at the Equestrian Center, where he would go to the Equestrian Center in the morning and do 2.5 hours of hunter-jumper riding before going to his gym in the afternoon to do 3.5 hours of boxing training.
Hunter jumper riding? What is that?
Hunter jumper is where you go over jumps and you
With a horse?
Yeah, on the horse. Yeah.
Jeez.
Why the fuck would you do that when you're training for a fight? What if the
Because
horse falls?
he was riding horses since he was a little kid. He was skilled enough to do it. You controlled the height of the jumps. You say set the jumps at 36 inches or 40 inches. You know what the horse can do. It's all about staying on the horse. And I asked him, how can you do that? And he said, everything I do in boxing is upper body, and everything I do on the horse is lower body. And
that makes sense. Go back a little more. Hold up.
on the horse is lower body. And on that basis, I am the one who theorizes that the reason you can't knock him down is not because of his chin, it's because of his legs.
His base.
You can't get him off balance. He's too strong from the waist down.
They are.
And, if other fighters would pay attention to what Canelo does, they might go do a little horseback riding.
I wasn't even aware of that until you brought that up. That's
There he is.
incredible.
Yeah, his legs are really strong, though. They're thick.
That completely makes sense if you think about it. Squeezing with the lower legs, the core strength that you have to have.
100% correct.
The balance.
The balance. Exactly. The timing. All of it. Yeah.
That's a good workout. Damn. I didn't know that. Man. So, that's why his legs are hella strong, though. Okay, so it makes sense. Now, like I said, I want Canelo to win. All right? But if Crawford does win, he has a chance, of course. He's more, in my opinion, he's probably the more all-around boxer for them two for a little more. But Canelo, this is your turn for the win, the biggest fight you probably can do. Even though the guy's coming up 2 weight classes, I don't know if it's probably his biggest fight. I'm talking about maybe recent, not all the time, because it wants Mayweather when he gets this. But I'm talking about right now for the last maybe 3-4 years. This is probably his big fight right here. Even though we want to see some other people right there too, but you have to beat him. Gotta beat Crawford, and we have to beat it. If it goes to decisions, you gotta win at least like 8-9 rounds, and it's not even like really competitive, like you're winning. You want him to win most of the rounds, and I want him to do that, man. All right, so let's see what happens when the fight's coming up. I'm a little pumped up with that though. I think it's gonna be cool when it started, and I want him to win the first rounds, okay? Then make it him to try to come to him. Then he can start his slips and all the stuff he does over that. But anyways, tell me what you got to think about that. Hit me in the comments. Like, subscribe, show love. All right, peace.